Did your Flux
Huh?
Did your Flux on?
Flux, yeah. Does that affect the recording?
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Also affects my eyes.
Whoa. Alright. Yeah, sorry about that. I had that on the whole time. Okay, so here's where we ended up. We got a pretty cool app. We got infinite scroll going. Scroll going. Yep. And we can click through and it does something. The point we want to get to is one where when we click through on here, it displays this card that goes over top everything. We also have this like back button that we can click to go back to this main list screen. There's actually kind of a few very involved things to do this very common pattern in mobile apps. We could build it ourselves, but actually a much better idea is to just use a library. And this is a library that is well vetted, is actually recommended by like the main React Native people. It's called React Navigation. So let's just add that to Yarn. And what we're going to do here is, let's go back to our main app. So the way the Stack Navigator works is that it defines a bunch of routes. You can think of this as like URLs, like HTTP, where you have this string, and then when you go to that string, it displays a certain thing. Let's start this by just creating a simple navigator to basically do what we're already doing, which is displaying the movie list. So let's Stack Navigator, movie list, screen movie list. And then let's replace our stuff here with these routes. Now here's the problem. We also want to pass in these props into routes, but it's going to pass it into the routes component, not our movie list component. The powers that be who built React Navigator thought of this, and what they created was this thing called screen props, which is it's just a name for a props dictionary that then gets passed to all the child components. So we can just replicate all of our stuff here, and then it'll be passed through to movie lists. And in movie lists, we can't just access this with this.props anymore. We have to get it from screen props. So let's get this. Uh-oh. So yeah, pretty much the same as before. It's good that we know it's working again. Let me actually go back and remove this, this style. We don't need it anymore. As you can see, the view provides a little area up top. It naturally has this little area. We'll go into that pretty soon. All right, so let's go ahead and create another page. Let's create a movie profile page. So let's go movie profile. Yes. Let's see. actually give it styles ugly. And let's just go and display movie profile. So let's create this separate route, screen, movie profile, which we will import. Right. And so when we click through, we want to be able to see this. So the question is, how do we get it to click through? What we have is the movie card, and all it does is this alert. So what also happens, what also exists on props is this thing called navigator, and specifically a function called navigate. So I'm using this, actually let me make this clear. Navigate equals this dot props dot navigation dot navigate, which you can also write as this. It's the same thing. So we get this function from navigation, which is passed through props just naturally by the navigator. And then we're going to go here, and instead of, well, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to pass it down into our movie card. So we have this stuff. Let's add a load profile. Cool. Okay. Cool. All right, so it's going to navigate to movie profile. This is what we're passing down into movie card. So instead of doing alert, what I can do is this dot props dot load profile. Hopefully that works. There we go, the movie profile. And as you can see, this is another another view on this stack. So you can actually go back. Right? It just kind of provides all of this nice stuff automatically. Let's see. So actually, we want to display more things on the movie profile than just the words movie profile. So let's actually pass through, let's try to get it to display the title. So let's pass through some information. And so one thing you can do on Navigate is you can pass through this extra piece of data. And in our case, it's just a big map containing all of our information. And then once you're in movie profile, what you can do is you can get that data through this dot props dot navigation dot state dot params. These are just, yeah, this sucks, but you just either have to remember it or look it up. I don't know what to say. And from here, what you can do is get props dot title. Boom. Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, good stuff. And then I'm just going to copy over a bunch of stuff that makes this look pretty. It's pretty straightforward. There's just some styles. So and then one last thing before we're done here, which is we actually want to display something nice up top. It's actually quite easy because we can just pass through some navigation options. and just give it a title. Oh no. Yay. It's a very artsy picture. All right, cool. So, let's see here. Yeah, that's about it. Does anybody have any questions? This should give you like a very solid foundation on which to build your homework. Anything after that is like fancy stuff. So the skeleton's pretty straightforward, but there is a lot of things that you can do.
On Thursday, we'll have a lab similar to last week. We'll build a Tumblr at this time instead of Instagram, because Tumblr has a friendly API. It's still going to be all React Native. We'll also get your homeworks. Behavior and I will work to make sure all your homeworks are graded by Thursday. So you should get the scores. You'll have a small code review there as well. And I don't know if Jaren mentioned this, but one thing I want to say is this might be its first or second time that we hit every one semester. So usually there's always at least one or two people who want semester. But this class, everyone semester one. So good job, everyone.
Second round of applause.